You want to get better at trading. You want to have an edge in trading. You are tired of your stops being hit only to go in the direction that you initially saw that it would go based off the technicals. Well, welcome to TRADEVINE. I am Denisha on a mission to help you learn how to read the charts. You have these amazing ideas, you have this gift, and God wants you to bring it forward. And trading is a tool that we use to further the kingdom. And so I want to help you get this. And I am on my journey too. And so let's go ahead and dive in. So one of the tools that we're going to use is VWAP. So oftentimes you'll hear traders or different people online say that they do not use indicators. They do not want to have their charts cluttered. They don't want to do all this, right? But I find that using certain indicators allows you to be able to indicate potentially or more profitability, no, more probability on where the trade is going, right? So it is allowing you to have a tool to help guide you in your decision making. So no tool, no person, no indicator is ever 100%. However, we are looking for those high probability trades. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. So I actually have VWAP on right now. You're going to see the three different lines that are going to help us. So let's take a step back, and I'm actually going to remove the VWAP. I'm just going to hide it. I'm in Thinkorswim right now. I am in the simulated version right now. I've already taken my trades for today. I might take one more based off of another look setup, but the bottom line is we want to make sure that we are taking time to just read price action, read how the market is moving while the market is open. It's okay and great to chart after hours, but we want to know in real time how did this price move. And one of the best ways to do that is in the simulator or just in the live trading, but basically by watching it. And so VWAP is actually the volume weighted price. Okay, so it's the volume weighted average price, volume weighted average price. And it's basically going to tell you a real average of price between the buyers and sellers on what they agreed on. So it's going to be based off the volume and not just the candles. So think of it like this, it's the true value of that zone. So it's like this middle place where if it goes above the VWAP, it's more of an indication of it being bullish energy. But if it's below the VWAP, it's more of bearish tone, right? The bears have control. We have to watch it because if it stays in that area, then it's just this point of control where there's like a meeting of the minds, right? There's the prices agreed upon here. And so if we go and open studies, let's go to edit studies, we go ahead and turn the VWAP on. If you actually wanted to add it, you would add VWAP here, select it, and then add selected. And then I am actually going to select here, and then you can actually go in and add the upper and lower bands. Just for this, I'm going to turn the upper and lower bands off. I'll do another video where we can go more details at. I just want to focus on that middle area. And so I'm going to go to more details. I'm going to say, okay, apply. So if we go here in Thinkorswim, it's going to give you all of so much information. So you are fully equipped here with what you need. And so if we just read the definition here, the VWAP plot is accompanied with two bands serving as overbought and oversold levels. The upper band is plotted a specific number of standard deviations above the VWAP, and the lower band is plotted similarly below the VWAP. So again, I'll go over this some more, but again, the volume weighted average price is calculated by using this formula. And I don't even try to calculate anything. I've never tried to calculate it, but I just wanted to show you where you can get, more information on the different indicators and things that you're using. So we're going to go back to charts, and we're going to, as you can see, the VWAP is added, but just the middle band. And so again, if we pull up IWM, which is already pulled up, and we look right now, it is 2:09 p.m. and the price has been hovering over this area for a while now. So if we're on the 15-minute chart, we have one, two, three, four, five, six over the last six candles. And then we noticed earlier to this morning, it was hovering around this area as well. So you can already know that this is a section that we want to be mindful of. So I'm going to add a line here, and we're going to put it here. And also you can see where this is an area of resistance. It was an area of resistance yesterday. And then prior to that, it was an area of what? Support, right? So for me, it's looking at once price comes back to this area, holds, retests, shows me some receipts, then this could be an indication on getting a call and riding it. I won't say all the way up. We don't know because price sometimes takes the longer route to get to a destination. But regardless, we can see right now. So if price did reject here, we have this area around here. Well, pretty much here, but I would still be mindful of here, and then also what happens around this area. So currently VWAP is at 219.29. The price is at 220.27, testing the top of resistance, and it's already above VWAP, right? So this would indicate that buyers have some type of control. But because if we look at the bigger picture, because we're down more towards the end, like towards the bottom of this whole picture, and we're right here, we still have to be cautious of this area because if price rejects, comes back down, it has a chance to bounce again off this VWAP, come up, we'll see, or if it breaks below and closes below, this now is going to indicate that it's going more bearish. All right, even though we still can see it's bearish. So let's go to the 1 hour and we can see how price, let's see, this was last week. Price came here, pulled back, trading consolidation, and then rallied and it's back in a consolidation, but it's more towards the upper end of it. So we'll see, will price hold, and then we go more to the upside. We shall see. So I'm gonna go back down to the 15. We're gonna talk more about this VWAP. I'm going to, before I zoom in, if you just go back and just look at just the VWAP on different charts, you'll see how price pretty much respected that area and showed you what happened. So even though we do have some areas where it went above or below it, staying in here, like this right here, we see this is a lot of chop. Even though there was some opportunities to trade it if you were scalping. We see how price dipped down. This is after hours. Let's see. And then right here, price respected. It stayed above. And then this is after hours as well. And then even here yesterday, how price fell below and it stayed below. So this definitely could be an indication and help you get an edge and help you learn. And as you continue to learn, you may not even need to use any indicators, but allow the use of indicators to help you read how price is going. So what do you see currently? What is occurring? What is occurring? Put it in the chat or just think it, say it out loud. One thing I love to do is to talk out loud. And because what I find is that as I am saying it out loud, I am connecting to being real on what's happening to the charts and not hoping. And anytime I catch myself hoping, I'm not trading. The moment I start hope, I'm not trading because it's pretty straightforward, right? If it rejects off of here, like there's no reason why I should be trying to get into a long call here, right? I need to wait and let it show me some receipts. It already came up here, it rejected. It didn't quite come all the way up, but still it rejected and it's here now. Now, some people might take the early entry and then just put their stop right under VWAP. you have to determine what you're doing, because if this is an options contract, then you might not want to be in that much drawdown. And so you have to determine what that is. But for me, it's waiting until I see how price reacts to the VWAP. And then that will give me a greater reward to risk from 219.29 up here somewhere versus starting here at 220.11 and only having potentially, to, let's just say, up here 220 40 50. So that's only like, what, 40-ish cent or a little less versus this dollar and something, right? And so just be mindful of that. One thing that I would look for with a retest is it actually comes here, breaks above the whole body, right? Or, close to it, and then retest. Now, sometimes price is just going to go and it's going to leave you. And so you have to determine what makes it helpful for you to enter. And what I find is going into the 5 minute, going into the 1 minute can help me with entries versus waiting for the 15-minute candle to close. But I also often find that if I would have just waited to the 15-minute candle close, I would have saved myself a lot of money. So, and a lot is relative, but to me, I would have been able to save myself money by just waiting to that 15-minute candle close. So it's important that you practice reading the chart. So right now we're at 220.13. It's still in this area of consolidation. It's more like an accumulation phase too, because at some point it is going to break. It's 2:15 p.m. But again, the market makers, market algos, it could do whatever it wants to do. But what we do clearly see is that price is starting to pull back. So we'll see, does it come back to VWAP? Let's talk a little bit more about VWAP. So as a trader, the trader's view is, can I trade this? Can I trade this? And so as a trader, the VWAP is like a risk zone. So above the VWAP, I look for call entries or a dip to the VWAP. So it comes here, right? It bounces off, comes up, comes back down, retests, then that may be an area to enter once it retests, right? If it's below the VWAP, I look for puts or I just chill. It just depends on what your strategy is, if you're comfortable trading puts. So today we are seeing that again, it's over the VWAP. So it has a bullish stance right now, but still we have to get past this for it to officially be that, but it is closer to this area than not. So we'll see what happens. It could break resistance. And so you have to just be content with whatever happens, but being able to know and be okay with it, because there's always another trade. There's always another trade. Just stay in there, okay? So we would be asking ourselves, would that be a trap entry would it be a trap entry, or would it be a trade entry, right? So if I enter this, is that a trap or is it actually a true entry? And so for me, some people will do a starter position here, see if it does reject, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we are in 6 candles. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I might be off, but about 13 candles before it dropped. So again, that may not be the case for here. We'll see. But would this be a trap? And for some, it might be okay to go ahead and do a starter entry. And then if it rejects, just go ahead and get out and you didn't risk much, or just to wait for it to retest. And as we can see, when price hit this area prior, right? So this was the first candle, but it was after hours. This was the retest, but again, our pre-market, these are pre-market. And then it continued up. So I would be looking for, so the first candle would have been here. And I would have marked my orb. So then it came back down. It stayed close to VWAP. So I would have been watch the next candle. The body closed above VWAP. So this would have been an entry, and even potentially here, but then you had the rest of this time. But then you can see it pulled under it, but it never closed full body below it. And so if you have any questions, definitely put them in the chat. I'm going to zoom in some more here so we can focus on what we see here. And when we think about VWAP, we're going to think about, actually, let's play a game. Let's play a game, right? A yes or no game. All right, you ready? You're like, you can't even hear me. I can hear you. Put it in the comments, okay? So if the VWAP is flat, right, should I enter? Should I enter if I see a VWAP that's flat? This VWAP is curling up slightly, but it still has a flatness to it. But if you do see a flat, don't enter because it's a chop area, which we can see. This has been a chop area. If the price breaks above the VWAP with volume, right? Is that good? Is that a good time for calls? If price breaks above the VWAP with volume. So right now, as we can see here, volume is low compared to these. Volume is low. We can see it's like it's picking up a little bit prior, but still, is it a good time for calls? The answer is yes, but it needs to retest because it could be a fake out. It could be a trap. Like even here, even though this was pre-market, it pushed up, broke this level, but then came back down. If price is way above the VWAP and pulls back, do I wait or chase? If price is way above the VWAP and pulling back, do I wait or chase? You wait for it to retest that VWAP. So it pulled back, but did it pull back and retest it? Now we have to be okay with it because it may not come back and touch it. It may not. Like even here, we see that it touched it here, barely touched it here, and then went off. So it might not go all the way back. Like it might not. So we also have to be nimble in a way where we're watching the candles and we're able to read it in a way that if we do get in and it goes and it reverses, then we just get out. And so that was one thing that I have to continually work on being able to get out. And so if you are looking for a better setup, let me know. And that could be an option I can provide. That way you can get your setup right to help you with more better entries and exits when it comes to how you submit your entry. So we can go over that. So let's talk about an investor's view, right? Where the big money is. And so this is just me based off studying these, but an investor uses the anchor VWAP to basically see where institutions started buying. So let's anchor the VWAP, right? So they may say, let's anchor the VWAP from last earnings. It could be earnings low or from July's recent pullback. So they're going to look at that level that price held it at. Okay. They're not just going to be random. It's where big money says, we like this stock down here, right? We like this stock down here. And they're going to use that VWAP as part of that. And so I am, again, still studying, asking questions from an investor's perspective because that helps me as I continue to grow. So I think that we want to be mindful of these different viewpoints because sometimes we can get caught up in scalping or swing trading or, whatever our strategy is, that we want to be able to see the bigger picture. And it also helps you see traps, right? So I'm trying to, if I was trying to get a put here and it hasn't even closed under VWAP, that could be me just giving the market makers money, right? I need to see receipts. Now, some might say, based off of a bigger strategy, if they're looking at the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly, that might have been a good strategy. But as we can see, even the institutions are not just being random. They're seeing where they can enter based off the VWAP and seeing where those pullbacks and stuff went, because the VWAP again is that middle place. Is that middle place where they both came into a decision on price. And so when we think about a hedge fund view is get me in below the VWAP, right? Or above the VWAP, either way. So now let's be fancy. Okay. So hedge funds don't just chase breakouts. They're going to use that VWAP to execute orders quietly. So if you were a $1 billion fund, that's what we got to look at our money. You might have $1,000, you might have 100, you might have 5,000, 10,000, a million billions, whatever you got. We're going to think of it as we are managing a $1 billion fund. We're going to preserve our capital, right? So you want to get in this trade, you're anxious, you want to do it, but we're going to preserve our capital. Okay, so we're gonna think like, where would I buy this at? Right? Would I try to buy it at or below VWAP? So you don't move the market, right? So that's what hedge funds are thinking about. They're going to try to buy it at or below VWAP so you don't move the market. That's what they're going to try to do. So I just said it both different ways. So if we look at today's price, is if you see the price bouncing around VWAP with no big move, that's hedge funds executing their execution happening. They're playing chess while we're playing checkers. And so my thing is, okay, so price is hovering here. And so there's not a big move being made right now, which we know there's consolidation. Then there we have where it goes up, goes down. But that's where hedge funds are right now. And so we want to be mindful of that. And so when we think about VWAP, it's based on who you are. So we're looking at trader. You use VWAP as entry filters, calls above, puts below. Swing trader, you're using an anchored VWAP from key events, right? Key events that's going to help you make your entries even better. And then hedge fund, they're going to use VWAP for stealth order flow. And so we want to say, who are you today? Are you the scalper? Are you the swinger? Are you the secret hedge fund CEO? And how do you want to use VWAP differently depends on your role and your goals. And so we want to be, again, mindful. We've been talking this whole time, and price is still hovering around this area. If, which I have been in the past, if I was in a options contract right now, my premium would be burned, especially if it was a 0 DTE. So that's why it's important to be mindful of our entries and go from there. So even now, price still hasn't broken this level here. But I'm not even, it would have to bounce off VWAP and then I would consider, but what I would really be like to look for is it to hold below. I really like for it to come about right here. This is what I would like. And then also come here and hold for the upside. And so VWAP is interesting again. No one indicator is the thing, right? But once you start learning them, it can help you decide what's best for you to help you with your edge. And then again, at the bare minimum, I'm helping you see indicators in a way to help you read price. So when you take the indicators off and then now you see where price is, then you're like, oh, it's been at this level, the same thing. And then somebody else might say, well, that's just your support and resistance, right? Or that's just supply and demand, right? Depending on, the person that you're listening to. And so if we think about VWAP, VWAP is really great for a trend pairing it with the non-EMA and 21 EMA. So it's also good when you see volume spikes for confirmation. VWAP is also good for orb breakouts. Okay, so the opening range breakout and for precision. And then it's also good with if you use the MACD or the RSI because it's going to show you momentum or where it's overbought or oversold cues. So that's going to help you with other confluences. That way VWAP is helpful alone, but when it has other confluences, that can help you. So if you have the 9 and the 21 and you have the VWAP on. So let me just quickly add the 9 and the 21. So you're going to go back to studies. I'm going to type in movement average. I actually have the movement average exponential and I already have one on her. So let me change this to the 21. And the 21 I usually make pink. And I could talk about more of my color coding. And I'm going to change it. Okay, I'm going to keep that one. This electric blue. Okay, so we're going to apply. All right, so if we add, okay, so the 9 didn't get added. So let me go back. I think I just need to turn it off. Okay, yep. Now we'll be able to see it. All right. So now that you see it with the 9 and the 21 on here, let's zoom in. The 9 is the electric blue. The pink is this 21. Now you see it here. It looks like it's holding a hammer, right? It's still in consolidation. However, you can see now where it's showing over the last 9 days, the 9 moving average. And the moving average catches like the bigger moves. It's kind of more exaggerated, exponential versus the simple. But if we add the simple, edit studies, if we just added you're going to see that it's not, I'm going to add the simple in. Let's see. Let's do it in this green. Okay, you're going to see that the simple, see how it came down? It's not much difference. but you still can see it, right? So I'm going to take all those off. We're going back to edit studies. Again, we are in Thinkorswim. I'm going to take these off. I just wanted to show you to help you with other confluences that you can use. So again, the VWAP is going to help you with a reclaim setup. It's going to help you anchor your levels, right? It's going to help also anchor you. Okay, if it's above the VWAP and you're tested, then I know that, okay, what's around the VWAP? What do I see? Right? What am I seeing? Oh, price came here so many times. Right? If it's there, it's going to help anchor you as well. So the VWAP is more than just a line. It's a guide to value. It's used by all players, big and small. So how to read it is basically waiting for the right signals. And it's going to help you stop guessing and start positioning yourself with this insight versus going against the market. Now, again, no indicator, no person, no strategy is ever 100% besides God. And even then, we don't know God's plan. And so you right now are doing this daily walk. You're practicing, you're going and you're showing up, you're learning about the charts. I just want to continue to encourage you to continue practicing reading them, learning them, seeing. And even if I was to go and I was to take off the VWAP, I'm actually going to just hide it by hitting the eyeball. And you were just to look and see the bigger picture versus just being, sometimes we're just here and we can't really see it. Zooming out and seeing, okay, if this is the 15-minute chart and I look where price is and I look over to the left, here I am. Here's price, right? It is showing me, let's see here, but it's still in the chop zone, right? It still has to come here and reject. I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna be patient because those right setups, the right things are for me. Nothing is chasing me. Nothing is running away from me. Well, nothing is, did I say that wrong? I'm not going to chase. Nothing is running away from me. Everything is working out for my good. And even if it is for me to learn, because it's something that you're going to be able to have for the rest of your life. You're going to be able to teach your family and everything else. And I asked God for guidance because my son is like really interested in a few things. And I'm like, why? Get interested in this and this and this, other stuff. And God gave me a revelation this morning on, okay, you're interested in honey. Okay, great. And in the market, they're hunting for stop losses. They are hunting for your liquidity, your money, my money. Okay. They are hunting for those that are impatient, those that don't want to, they want to just be eager and jump right in. And again, you may do everything right and it's still going the other direction. We just got to have our stops right and be okay to risk that, $25, $100, whatever the percentage is that you're risking based off of your trade. And then also have room because we can get ourselves stopped out easily when we have our stops too tight. But again, you have to determine that because one, we want to make money, but we also want to protect the capital that we have. And so this is another reason why I'm coming on here and like sharing this in real time because I know how frustrating, how discouraging it can be. But if this was something that everybody could do, they would be doing it. And you are also in a position right now, even though it seems like a lot going on in the market, in the world, that you're being highly trained right now. And as we move about this and we're going along a journey, the frustration, just know, let me step back and let me read what is going on so I can make a more informed decision, not on emotions, but on what I am actually seeing that is true, right? Because I can say, if I'm just here, I'm like, oh yeah, price is actually going. And if it breaks, da 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 da. But it could be what I want to do. So it's not about what I want at all. It's about, is this showing the setup? Is the structure, it's not the candle right now. Is the structure showing me that it wants to be supportive right here? Here shows, even though this is pre-market, if I was to look at this, I'm like, okay, pre-market, price respected this area. Okay. It could have helped me inform me on the decision for the day, right? Even here, if I see, okay, we hit this level of resistance and price came down, 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 down. Okay, it's coming back to that same area. Does it respect it? Actually, no. 1, 2, 3. It gave me another entry. Here could have been an opportunity. Once it broke here, depending on the time frame, 11:15, came back and retested, came back. This could have been an entry. This could have been an entry, but then you would have thought, oh man, it's reversing. But the thing about it, as long as it didn't close above, we would know to hold it. Okay, it comes back down, respects that area. Once you start seeing it back coming and bounce, that could be an indication to get out if you're scalping, because now it goes back to retest. Or it could be literally you missed this entry. You want to see once it retests here, and that was a golden one, right? It retests here, here, oh, and then it came from 220 down to 218. So that was a move. So now we're just looking at, okay, what is price doing? And even though here we see it, right, I still would want to wait until it breaks VWAP. So let's go back and add VWAP. Okay, so if price would have had to lose this area here, but even still, it could bounce, because you got here that bounced before, it could bounce. And even if we go back here, we got this level right here that was a bounce zone. Does it mean it's going to do it again? No, but this is informing us, so why not be mindful of that, right? So for me, it's literally waiting until for sure it closes above, below VWAP and retest. And again, sometimes you're going to miss an entry, but like here, you missed this entry. But so you have here. What time is this? This is 11:30. Here, here. Okay, you said let me let it do what it's gonna do. All right, it reverses, comes back up, retest. Once it retests here, this is go time. This right here is go time. Once you've seen that, it's like, okay, I'm gonna put my stop up here and I'm gonna take this. Now, once it chopped here, long as it didn't break a back above here, this area, then holding it. And so here it pushed back down and it slowly, well, this is after hours now. So, all right, I'm getting in it. I'm like, I just got involved and I love reading the charts because it shows me so much and it's helping me make informed decisions. So again, this is Denisha on a mission. And remember, you can do this. VWAP is more like just this line, right? It's showing you where this value is, where the big players, big and small is, right? And so we can let it reject. And when it reject and hit those stops, right, or goes into momentum, we can be part of that. So we just have to be mindful and then be able to cut quickly if it's not. So let's continue to work on it. Let's continue to get better. And again, I am looking forward to sharing more about price action and helping you continue to build on this journey and myself as we are in the market, building for our family, building for God's kingdom, building the things, because it was good for us to be on the charts, but then we got to get off and do the things that God called us to do, because this is a tool and a resource to be able to be one of the ways that we could do that. But our dreams, our ideas, our visions, those things like that gives us another stream as well. So, all right, I will talk to you later. And let me know, what ticker symbol do you want me to do next? What EFT, what stock do you want me to do next? All right, again, this is Denisha on a mission. I will talk to you later. Today we learned by watching how price moves. All right, bye.